Good afternoon. Today is the 10th of July, although most of you will probably be seeing this video quite a long time after I'm recording this. But as we do every month, and we have done for the past 5 years, let's look at the top 10 best-selling cars of June 2023. I'm pleased to say that June 2023 continues on the same lines as May 2023, in that we've had quite a significant change in the number of cars that were registered last month. I'm going to use the word registrations and sales interchangeably because it's just easy for me to remember the word sales. Technically they are registrations, so if you've ordered your car, I don't know, at the end of 2022 and it's just arrived, the car's registered, so this month, that counts actually in this particular set of statistics. It doesn't actually count from the day that you put the deposit down for the car. No surprise here, there's been an enormous decline in the sales of forbidden fuel cars, the diesels. There's a reason we haven't been able to talk about diesels on this channel since 2018, viewers, and that's not just due to the ultra low emission zone and the Mayor of London, though those are quite big reasons. It's due to the fact that for the majority of buyers, they are just becoming increasingly irrelevant. If I check the statistics here, you'll kind of see that the pure sort of combustion ones, which aren't with any form of mild hybrid assistance, are now the smallest category of all in the UK sales charts. In June 2022, they made up 5.7% of the market. Last month they made up 3.5%. That's a 22.7% change, because if you look at the actual raw figures, the number of cars sold, in 2022 in June it was 8,000, now it's just over 6,000. By contrast, we'll look at petrol. Petrol's actually gone up quite considerably. Now, a lot of you would have heard that actually, the battery electric cars, that the increase in sales is starting to slow down. They're still selling at a good rate, but the increase in sales, if that makes sense, is starting to slow down a little bit. So petrol, it made up 44% of the market in June 2022. It now makes up 40% of the market. However, the number of sales has increased. It's gone from 62,000 to 70,000, 13.5% change. But because of the overall growth of the market by about 26%, the market share has dropped a bit. The mild hybrid versions of the fuel source we cannot discuss, that has declined in market share as well, and also declined in percentage change too. They used to make up, last June, 5% of the market. They now make up about 4%. Percentage change is 3.3 negative, because number of cars sold has gone from 6,900 to 6,700. Mild-hybrid petrol, this has gone over a huge increase. There's so many cars with mild hybrid engines now. We've got Kias and lots of Volkswagen cars, and I think all the Suzuki range now is mild hybrid or full hybrid. So a big percentage of the market. Used to be 13.2% in 2022 in June, and last month it was 16%. Number of cars sold has gone from 18,600 to 28,500, which is it's pretty big. It's a 53% increase. Battery electric vehicles still increasing, but remember that a lot of these used to have really long lead-in times. You could wait up to 12 months for certain models of electric car. So market share has gone from 16% of the market in June 2022 to 18%. So it's not a huge increase, but that's because the number of cars sold has increased in general quite a lot. It's actually a 39% increase because the number of cars sold has gone from 22,700 to 31,700. Plug-in hybrids, it's quite a large percentage change for some reason. I think more and more manufacturers offer these models because they do offer the ability to drive a very long way without having to actually recharge the car. Although, if you buy a plug-in hybrid, you really should be looking at one that will fit in with your lifestyle. They only make sense for people who can regularly recharge them. Otherwise, you just have a very heavy petrol car. Nevertheless, the market share has gone from 5.5% in June 2022 to 7.2% last month. So 66% increase in sales, because if we look at the raw numbers, they've gone from 7,700 to 13,000. Well, now hybrid electric vehicles, these aren't the mild hybrids, these are what the Toyota Prius used to be, a standard hybrid, not a plug-in hybrid, standard hybrid, sometimes a full hybrid. So they actually now make up 10% of the market. They were on about 11% of the market. It's a 40% increase in the number of sales, and they've gone from 15,000 in June 2022 to 21,000 last month. So quite sort of healthy figures really in many ways. With the private sector, there's been a 14.8% change in the number of cars sold. It's gone from 69,500 to 80,000. The market share though has dropped a little bit from 49% in June 2022 to 45% last month. In the fleet segment, which usually makes up a huge majority of cars sold, we've got a very big change actually. The market share has gone from 48% to 52%, as you'd expect really. That's a 38% increase, because if we look at the sales, it's gone from 67,000 to 93,000. Business makes up a very small sort of segment of car market. Last year in June it was about 3%. Last month at 2.7%. It's a 13% increase. Number of cars sold has gone from 4,200 to 4,800. Let's now look at the reason why many of you might have clicked on the title of this video, which is the top 10 best-selling cars of June 2023. I think we've had a delivery of Teslas into this country, because Teslas tend to skew the figures massively. They are all registered by companies that actually are owned by Tesla UK. They're not individual franchise dealerships. The ones that you might see, the outlets, are actually owned by Tesla UK themselves. So they don't have a boat and then they're distributed to kind of various dealerships owned by different people. They all come in together and they're all registered by Tesla UK themselves. So it tends to skew the figures. So the top 10 best sellers in first place: Tesla Model Y on 5539. Second for Puma, of course the Fiesta went out of production a few days ago actually, at the time of recording this video. So the Puma's kind of replaced it really in the sales chart. I think the EcoSport's gone now as well. That's on 5453 in second place. Corsa, last year's best-selling car, at third position, 4146. The Hyundai Tucson, no stranger to the top 10 whatsoever, 3588. Then the Nissan Juke, again a very popular car in this country indeed, 3256 in fifth position. And the Qashqai, which I think is based on a similar platform to the Duke. I might be wrong about that actually, but nevertheless a very popular, and I think still made in Britain as well, the Qashqai, and 6 on 3232. The Mini, or Mini Hatch we should call it, because Mini has many models these days. 7th position, 3222, so very close behind the Qashqai. Actually 4th to 9th position is really close. Actually 4th to 10th position is really close. Everywhere between like sort of 3,600 and 3,000. It's very close. So 8th is the Yaris, 3162. Then the Sportage, which is virtually the same car underneath as the Tucson, all the same engines and everything like that, 3081. And then Finally, the Vauxhall Mocha, which is similar really again to the Corsa underneath, 30.34. So this is my favourite part of the video, as I always say. This is where we look at how each individual brand is doing in the UK market. So we can see the market share from last month, we can see the market share from June 2022, we can see the percentage change in the number of cars sold, and the actual raw figures. So we always start with a couple of Stellantis brands. First is Abarth, who are barely selling any cars in this country at the moment because I think they're trying to bring in some new electrified models, and the ones they've got sold still hanging around I think are still variations on the 2007 and onwards Fiat 500 platform. You know, Abarth 595, 695, that sort of stuff. Last June they sold 267 cars. Last month 114. The market shares dropped from 0.19 to 0.06. That's a 57% decrease. Alfa Romeo is a 33% decrease, despite the fact the new Tonale has come out quite recently. The number of cars sold has gone from 159 appropriately to 107, not so appropriately. Market shares dropped from 0.11 to 0.06, so not particularly good for them. Alpine, the numbers are so small really, it's not really worth talking about particularly. We're talking 31 cars sold last month, so won't dwell too much in there. Audi, the best selling brand in this country for May 2023. Very big sellers again, but not the biggest sellers actually. 59% increase. Remember, any brand that gets above a 26% increase is actually going above the rate of the market, so it's very good. Their market share has gone from 5.45% in June 2022 to 7% in June 2023. The number of cars sold has gone from 7,700 to 12,200. Because we love our Audis over here, don't we? Bentley, rather less than Audi, although they're in the same group, of course, under Volkswagen. Minus 20%. Market share has gone from 0.1 to 0.07. Number of cars sold has gone from 145 to 116. BMW used to be the second favourite brand in this country. They don't seem to be anymore though, because they are behind Audi. Number of cars sold has gone though from 9,500 to 11,600. Percentage change is 22.5, but that's obviously below the market a little bit, and that means that the market share has gone from 6.7 to 6.5 despite the increase in sales. BYD we'll have to come back to really next year because I'm going to compare it against. Citroën, another Stellantis brand, and also not doing very well. Starting to sort of see a pattern emerge here, aren't we, unfortunately? So the number of cars sold has gone from 2,400 in June 2022 to 1,600 last month. The market share has really declined. It's gone from 1.7 to 0.9, and that's a 34% decrease in sales. Cupra, the Cupra Born seems to be doing quite well at the moment. 85% increase. Market share has gone from 0.87 to 1.28. Number of cars sold has massively increased. It's gone from 1230 to 2276. Dacia, the Dacia Jogger that Mr. Bill from the Fuel Power channel and I filmed last month has been a very popular video on the channel recently. Apparently, it's quite hard to get hold of one of those at the moment. Nevertheless, it's very steady for Dacia. They've had a very small decrease of 0.76%. Number of cars sold has gone from 2,372 to 2,354, but that does mean the market share has dropped from 1.7 to 1.3. DS, another Stellantis brand, another decrease. So gone from 350 cars sold to 275. Market share's gone from 0.25 to 0.16, and that's a 21% decrease. Fiat, another Stellantis brand. Gosh, this really isn't going very well, is it, for them? Decrease of 44%. Market shares dropped quite considerably from 1.5 to 0.67. So market share has more than market share is more than halved. Number of cars sold has gone from 2,100 to 1,200. Ford, very good news for Ford. 49% increase, gone from 7% of the market to 8.3% of the market. Number of cars sold has gone from 9,900 to 14,700. Wow. But I don't think they are the best-selling brand this month, which is interesting. I think I know what it is, but we'll have to keep going for quite a while until we find it. Genesis finally doing some decent numbers. I mean, nobody really buys them. They're superb cars with a fantastic ownership package. I would have a Genesis myself if they weren't massively expensive. But nevertheless, nobody buys them. They just keep on buying Audis and BMWs and Mercedes, like they always did. Never mind, 123% increase. The market share's gone from 0.08 to 0.14. Number of cars sold has gone from 111 to 247. Aura, we'll come back to that probably next year because we've nothing to compare against. Honda, massive sales increase for Honda. I don't really know why. I think it's maybe to do with some of the kind of model. I think that the ZRV is coming. I'm not sure if that's out yet though. Maybe it's just for Civic and the HRV. They're very good cars there. I'd like to try the current generation Civic and the current generation HRV actually. So 85% increase, and number of cars sold has gone from 1,200 to 2,300. Market share has gone from 0.9 to 1.3. Hyundai, not as big an increase as I would have expected to see, but nevertheless a big one. Sort of compared with some other brands, 10%, so it's still below the actual rate of the market in general. Market share has correspondingly gone from 5.5 to 4.8%, and number of cars sold has gone from 7,700 to 8,400. Still an increase, but not a huge one. Ineos, we'll have to skip that again, come back to it later. Now, Jaguar has just gone over the average, a 26.5% increase. Number of cars sold has gone from 1159 to 1466. And that means the market share has gone from 0.82 to 0.83. Nevertheless, I think there are some plans to revamp Jaguar considerably, and we'll have to see how that goes. A Stellantis brand next, which is Jeep, but doesn't have a negative a negative number for percentage of difference between 2022 and 2023. 3.4% increase, but of course it's below the market, but never mind. Number of cars sold has gone from 351 to 363, and of course the market has dropped from 0.25 to 0.2. Kia, actually worse than Hyundai this month. Number of cars sold has very slightly increased from 9,200 to 9,600, but the market share has gone down from 6.5 to 5.4, even though it's a 4% increase on number of cars sold last year. Land Rover, better, no, not as good as Jaguar actually. Traditionally a much stronger brand. Of course, the number of cars they've sold is a lot more. So we've gone from 4,100 to 4,600. That's a 12% increase, but the market share has dropped from 2.9 to 2.6. Lexus, massive increase. Not quite sure what that is. It maybe people are enjoying the new NX and UX models. I don't really know. I would have preferred, quite honestly, for them to keep the IS in production. I think the IS is a really nice car. All generations of IS were, but that's not what people want to buy, so they've had to get rid of it. Anyway, 212% increase, which is massive. Market share has gone from 0.4 to about 1.02. Number of cars sold has gone from 580 to 1,800. Maserati, another Stellantis brand, another decrease. Yeah, oh dear. 60% decrease, market share has gone from 0.07 to 0.05, and number of cars sold has gone from 101 to 85. Maxus has only sold one car in the last month. I presume that's some kind of passenger version of their vans or something. I don't know why that's there at all, actually. We'll skip that. Mazda, like Honda, not a huge brand in this country, comparatively speaking, but a very good month. I don't quite know what this is, but maybe the new CX-60 finally sort of coming on stream, people receiving deliveries of them. I don't know. It's not my favourite car. I think I just prefer the simple little Mazda 2, actually, the non-hybrid one. So 104% increase. Market share has gone from 1% to 1.6. Number of cars sold has gone from 1,400 to 2,900. So very impressive. Mercedes-Benz, not as big a player as they used to be in this country. I don't know if it's agency sales model, which they now have, which means like Tesla, that the manufacturer sort of owns all the outlets of them being franchises. But, increase is still pretty good. 22%. Market share has gone from 4.7 to 4.6, but number of cars sold has increased from 6,700 to 8,200. MG, of course, huge sales figures, almost as good as Nissan, for example, and outselling Skoda. I mean, we love our MGs in this country. It's a nice 7-year warranty. 42% increase. Market share has gone from 3.8 to 4.3. Number of cars sold has gone from 5,400 to 7,600. I quite fancy having a go in that new X-Power version of the MG4, actually. That would be fun if I'm able to do that. Mini, not as big an increase as MG, but of course they have one of the models with top 10. MG do not. So it's a 10.5% increase. The market share though has dropped a little bit because that is below the general trend of the market. So 2.7% to 2.4%. Number of cars sold has gone from 3,800 to 4,200. Nissan, a 50% increase, which is very, very good, actually, and 2 cars in the top 10. So the market share has gone from 3.8% to 4.5%. Number of cars sold has gone from 5,300 to actually almost 8,000. That's very good. Peugeot, another Stellantis brand, another decrease. So 14% decrease. Number of cars sold has gone from 5,400 to 4,700, and the market share has dropped from 3.8 to 2.6. Don't know why that is. Maybe some of you in the comment section can enlighten me. Polestar, 103% increase. I am seeing more and more of those Polestars out, rounded about, actually. So 553 cars sold in June 2022 has gone to 1125, and the market share has gone from 0.4 to 0.6. Porsche, again, quite a big increase for them, 59%. It's gone from 1.1% of the market to 1.4%, and number of cars sold has gone from about 1,600 to 2,500. Renault, maybe this is the new Austral, I don't know. I've seen an Austral in real life, and a couple of them. Very new and I think quite snazzy looking. Replaces the Kadja. Maybe we're going to go in one of those at some point. I don't know. We'll have to see, like with so many of these things. 88% increase. Market share has gone from 1.6 to 2.3. Number of cars sold has gone from 2,200 to 4,200. I don't know if it's just the very popular Renault Capture video that I did back in January, viewers, that's had almost 10,000 views. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe some of you can tell me. It's nothing exciting, that video, if you want to watch it. It's just absolute contingency reviews, of course. Skoda, not as good as MG, which is strange for them. So 36% increase. was 3.3% of the market, now 3.6%. Number of cars sold has gone from 4,700 to 6,400. Smart, still not really a big sort of player in the market. That Smart #1, I think it must be arriving in showrooms though, because they registered 49 of them last month. But it's not really soon enough to be able to see whether or not they can actually have a successful reintroduction in this country, I think. SsangYong, or maybe soon to be renamed KG Mobility. Yes, I'm not joking, I did a very vlog about that recently. Perhaps not, perhaps they'll stick with their name in this country, I don't know. 53% increase, which is very good. Number of cars sold has gone from 109 to 167, which is very good, because the market share has increased from 0.08 to 0.09. Subaru, very big increase, far bigger than SsangYong. 260% increase. Number of cars sold has gone from 83 to 299. That's a lot. It's a huge increase actually. Market share's gone from 0.06 to 0.17. Suzuki actually doing better than they have been recently. 60% increase. Market share's gone from 1.25 to 1.15. Number of cars sold has gone from 1,800 to 2,000. So even though they've had an increase, it's below the general trend in the market. So the market share has dropped very slightly. Tesla, not as big of an increase in sales and market share as you'd actually think with a top seller in the chart for the month, but 34% increase. 4% of the market's gone to 4.25. Number of cars sold has gone from 5,600 to 7,500. Toyota, quite a big brand in this country actually, with a car in the top 10 with Yaris. People love those. Not huge increase, but one nevertheless. 2.9%. Number of cars sold has gone from 9,000 to 9,400, and that means the market share has gone from 6.5 to 5.3. Vauxhall, a very small decrease. Let's just get this correct. So close to 10,000, and then closer to 9,900, I think is the way I describe it. And that means 7% of the market's gone to 5.6. And the percentage change is negligible, it's about 0.4. Volkswagen, the biggest selling brand in this country last month, I think in May, it was the second biggest selling brand. 15,000 cars sold. Last year it was about 12,000 in June. Market share's gone from 8.3 to 8.6%. It's a 30% increase. Volvo, 94% increase. Would you like Volvo's views? We like the new ones as well as the old ones, actually. 1.6% of the market, 2.5. Number of cars sold has gone from 2,300 to 4,400. So the overall sales for last month in this country, about 177,000 cars sold, and a 26% increase. Lloyd Vehicle Consulting stickers, t-shirts and mugs are available by clicking the link to the Google form in the video description below. So there we are, viewers. Some of you will have enjoyed it, some of you perhaps not so much, but we will continue to do them because we have done them for a long time and it is quite a tradition. So thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video and comment below, and we shall see you again soon for more not particularly penetrative market analysis.